Welcome to the Body Beat. I'm your host, Biff Biffle. In today's Auto Body News, the bill to reduce the required auto insurance coverage for low-income families in Clark County has quietly died in Nevada Senate. The low-cost policy would have provided death of injury coverage of $10,000 per person or $20,000 for 2 or more individuals. It would have set property damage coverage at $3,000. To finance the program, 50 cents would have been added to every private car insurance policy in the state. Sorry, get screwed like the rest of us. Pun intended. Chrysler announced that it will repay its U.S. Treasury, Canadian, federal, and Ontario aid loans within a few months. The automaker will achieve this by refinancing that debt in a new loan facility and through a private offering of newly issued debt securities to institutional investors. Yeah, looks like a bunch of mumbo-jumbo to me. Chrysler still around? Could have fooled me. The Obama administration is considering requiring light trucks and cars to average 56.2 miles per gallon by 2025, a move that could end up boosting the cost of vehicles by $2,100 or more. Will that be enough horsepower to haul passengers? Doubt it. In a potentially far-reaching decision, the California Court of Appeals has decided that there is a private right of action against California insurers who violate California Insurance Code 758. Blah blah. This ruling appears to allow for insurance companies to be sued for violations of the state's anti-steering law. In this specific case, the insured was awarded at least his legal costs in bringing the case against Progressive. In the end, only the lawyers win. Take note. With state leaders saying they no longer have the budget to afford help fully fund local services to lawmakers, they acted on June 1st to give counties the power to individually increase vehicle license fees with a majority vote approval. In other words, circumvent the 2/3 majority vote and pass on the buck. And that's your Auto Body News for today. I'm Biff Biffle.
The best part of skateboarding is the boxes you get. Diamond Supply. Alright, let's see what's in this baby. I'm so stoked. I haven't skated in a long time. Look at my buddies, they don't forget me. Sick. This is like Christmas, man. Sick. Look at this keychain. That's nice. It's a little diamond. Beanies. Sick. Alright. A wallet. Nice. Now this is what I really like, these t-shirts. These t-shirts are badass. Sick. Sick. Diamond hat. 2 diamond hats, 3 diamond hats, 4 diamond hats. Holy shit, I'm stoked right now. Diamond sweater, another diamond shirt, and another one. Ooh, this one's badass. That's badass. Nice. Sick. Hill Brews, that's my friend's company. And another one. Sick. So many shirts. Man. Sick. Oh man, and a sick zip-up sweater. I am set forever. Jeez. And the thing was, is I don't have any clothes to wear, because I mess up my clothes, because I work so hard, I mess up all my clothes, and I don't buy any clothes to go out. And I told my boy Nick that. I was like, dude, can you send me some gear? I can't even go out anymore. And he hooked me up, and I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked. Now I could go out in style, wearing diamond stuff. Yeah, baby. In the last Mustang episode, I did all of my guide coating. I only guide coated this once because it was revealed that I needed to make some slight little skim coats. So what I'm doing now is I'm going around panel to panel and refamiliarizing myself with what's needed. And it makes it easier because once the filler's mixed, it has a curing time. And I want to quickly locate all the areas that I need to fill before it's cured and have it all spread and ready to go. In areas like this where it's really hard to get your spreader down the way you want, you'll have little voids in your filler. I think it's pretty important to try to reveal any weaknesses in your filler. And this right here will reveal any pinholes or any loose filler that wants to come off. And it revealed that right there. Can't see it, but before I start to mix, I like to check my spreaders to ensure there's no filler on them. It's going to flake off and leave little hard chunks in my filler. And I especially check the edges, because there's nothing worse than mixing your filler and spreading it and seeing something that's leaving marks on your filler because the edge isn't groomed and cleaned. You see that? Probably take some 80 grit and clean that off a little bit, so I'll do that right now. Next, I'll obviously scoop out the filler. Duh. And I want to keep it on the light side because these are only skin coats, so I know I'm not going to be using a lot of filler. Barely be using any filler at all. That's probably good. You want to use about 4% filler, give or take some, depending on the weather. If it's hotter, you want to use a little less or spread or mix less. If it's colder, you want to put a little bit more hardener. If you're going to start doing that kind of stuff, it's better to put more hardener rather than putting less hardener in, because putting less hardener in could have adhesion issues. So when it's hotter, I just mix less filler. And I tell the boss that it's going to take a little longer. That's about right. And you mix it till it's a nice uniform color. And this is a good way to mix it because this eliminates pinholes, especially when you flatten it like that. You don't want to mix it when there's two different colors going on, because at that point some of it might harden while you're shredding it and you'll get chunks here and there, and then you'll have areas that don't cure because there's no hardener mixed into the filler. So you want to make sure it's a nice uniform color. Grooming the edges. And that, so I don't have a problem digging into the primer next to it. Right here is a perfect example of how you groom your filler. See what I did with my spreader? It's only thick in the middle where it needs to be. Now here we have the filler already getting hard in this. And it's a race against the clock. So now I'm just using the spreader to get off big chunks and loosen them up. Scoop it in the garbage. And I put on my gloves. And eye protection, because you don't want that stuff splashing in your eyes. It's no fun. Like I said, you could also wait for it to cure and sand it off. But I like keeping my Bondo board clean, because when you get a habit of sanding it off, you don't sand it all off, or a lot of guys don't. And what happens is, the next time you spread, you're going to be entering Bondo dust into the equation, and that leads to less adhesion. And I know a lot of guys that use these Bondo boards, and they basically just sand the previous Bondo on there to smooth it out, but they don't really sand it all out, and it'll get to like this thick. And those are the ones where a lot of dust will get under your filler. Now it's clean. See? Now my focus is on sanding this filler down without interrupting the primer that's around it. So right here, since I don't have any more 120, I've taken a piece of 80 grit that's old, and I'll put it on this block. I use this block because this has no more adhesive because it's old. So I'll put that there. For the smaller pieces, I got this. It's 80 grit, and it's brand new, and it's too aggressive. So I'm going to take this piece of 220 and sand some of the grit out so it'll be like a 120, and it's good. Right now I'm just focusing on the filler, not really sanding into the primer yet. I'll do that when it's nice and flat and I want to feather it all out. And when I do that, I'm going to extend it out really far. Now it's almost flat, so I want to feather it out a little bit, but I'm going to go real light, and I don't want to do too many strokes, because the 120 or 80 grit, that's like a 120, will take off a lot of material. So I'm just going to do a few strokes and then go straight to 220 or 180. that's about as far as I'll go at the 80. And then, I'll hit these just like that. And I'll guide coat the whole thing with 180 2 more times. And basically the key here, as I said before, is to not disturb the surrounding filler. And when you do have to sand into it to feather it out, long strokes, real long strokes. So when I was feathering this out, I went from here all the way up to there. When I feathered out something over here, it was from here to up there. And it creates the optical illusion where it throws off the eye. But actually, I guess that's not true, because by the time this is painted with another round of primer, more blocking on it, it's going to be straight. So I won't be fooling anybody. This one's a little more difficult in that the area is smaller than the block. So I'm going to angle my block like that. So we got all this sanded out, and now you see no guide coat, which is a good sign. So now what I'll do is I'll sand this area and sand the bottom part. And if there's no metal poking out, I'll re-guide coat it and do it again. Hi, welcome to the Body Beat. I'm your host, Biff Biffle. In today's Auto Body News, the bill to reduce the required auto insurance coverage. I know what you're thinking. No, it's not jelly in my face. I didn't get attacked by a raccoon, and I didn't fight a lion at the zoo. Well, I did fight the lion at the zoo, and won. But I'm okay.